All right, well, let's get started. So this is the standard Bandolero. This is the 5-inch frame. I'll talk a little bit about what I'm running. I'm running the DYS F4 Pro V2. I've got these in a lot of builds. They're very, very solid. I've got nothing bad to say about this flight controller. I have no interest in swapping out anything at this point because it's given me what I need. I'm also running the DYS Aria 35 amp. These are the 32-bit ESCs, of course. I've had some bad lucks with 4-in-1s. I've had a couple of fires. I've had, they haven't worked out. So I'm going to stay with individuals for now. I'm just not having any luck with the 4-in-1s. And then I'm running the Xings. These are the 2208 2450s. These are fantastic. Very solid. The bell's built well. I've had no problems whatsoever. I've got them on a few builds. Basically, I got all this stuff on a few builds. And I'm having a tremendous amount of luck. The bearings are just so solid on these. Even after a lot of hours, they still spin. No grinding, or they just don't sound rough. They sound really good. So as you can tell, I stripped down the entire Bandolero. If you remember correctly, when you first put together the Bandolero, or if you're about to buy one, at least you'll know now, there's 3 different sets of standoffs here. So there's some taller ones in the front because this is slammed all the way down. Where the arms come in, these are, kind of really tiny, and then you've got some in the back that are kind of a medium size. So when you just look at this, you're like, oh, I gotta put 3 different kinds of standoffs in there. So we've done the work for you. I'll tell you what standoffs to get. But in the meantime, I will let you know, Bill Brissett actually gave me some prototype stuff to help with this Bandolero conversion, because the Air Unit does fit in here quite nicely. So first off, we'll actually talk about how we're going to mount the camera. So there's a couple options. So these are the standards. There's a micro on the inside, mini on the outside. I was running the Foxeer Predator, so I had it mounted like so. We'll talk about how we can actually adapt these in just a second, but he also sent me these. The Air Unit actually takes a micro, so when you mount these this way, we're going to be able to mount the micro camera in here. Or, and these are actually on Thingiverse too, you can actually print these spacers, which will also make it the same height. So you can pop these right on here with the originals, and you can actually raise this up. So that way you can get the top plate up and put the Air Unit in there. So a couple of options there. Hopefully this is going to be available from a package from BQE to get the Air Unit in there, but I'll share with you a couple of the prototypes. Also, there is a cool trunk. So the old trunk, which I thought was pretty cool too, I had some LEDs in there. But the new trunk actually has kind of a hood scoop, allows air to flow up in there, and you can mount a fan in here and wire it right up to the FC. So I'm not going to do that today, but it's pretty easy. We're actually just going to get some air flowing in through here, through underneath. So this actually just slides right down in there, and we replace the trunk. So what do we need to do to raise this up? Well, first off, we need 2 25mm standoffs for the front. So these are 25mm regular standoffs, and these actually are going to slide right down into these. I'll actually get these further in a minute. And these are going to actually raise that front end up. Now, the rears are all going to take 20mm standoffs. So 25 at the front, and then 20 across here. And I'm actually going to get these on in just a little bit. I'll actually start one of these. And in the back, if you remember correctly, you have another set of 20mm standoffs, but, or also, because the way this mounts, you've got about 3mm there. And then when you actually put the top plate on, between the 20mm and the raising of the plastic that sits underneath, this actually is going to bring it up to fit quite nicely. But as you can also tell, we have antenna mounts. So these are pretty cool. I mean, again, these are prototypes. One of the things I did notice that if you want to, you can buy the MMCX, the straight MMCX, but that doesn't come with the standard package. So those actually fit quite nicely down in through here, but we don't have those. We actually have, what comes with the standard package is the full 90-degree bend. So these don't actually fit in through the holes. So what I did was I actually just cut 2 slits down in here, and we're gonna slide those in there. I did these with the Marmot build as well, but basically just gonna slit these and put them up. And then these will sit back just like the other mount for the antennas for Crossfire. These are gonna sit right there and actually put those antennas nice and up away from the props and give it some protection. So we're gonna do that in just a second as well. So 25 in the front, 20 in the back. I'm gonna go ahead and, well, I'll show you first that this thing does fit pretty darn perfectly. Look at that. And it gives plenty of room in the rear. Let me see if I can show you that. So it gives plenty of room in the rear to get those standoffs in there. So we're just gonna use some of the 3M mounting tape here. We're gonna get the standoffs on, and then we're gonna start to wire this thing up using the standard wiring harness, which is really easy. Nice clean build. We're gonna pick it up. We're gonna start mount. We're gonna put the camera mount on here, and we're gonna get the whole thing assembled. So stay tuned. I'm gonna actually get some of these standoffs on there and get the air unit in there. We'll wire it up, and that's about it, guys. All right, we're back. So got it all wired up. Pretty simple. When I really think about frustration I used to have getting, VTX and the camera, the RX to all work, and all the troubleshooting that I went through when I first started this hobby, it just makes it so much simpler. 6 wires, basically 1 box. Power, my ground. I've got my RX and my TX. I've got another ground, and then I've got the S-Bus. Pretty simple. Configuring Betaflight's really simple, which I went through in my Marmot build, but fundamentally this is just a clean build, 1 box. So I've got my antennas in here. You saw the new mount. I think the mount can either be a little longer or I don't know, but I got the wires. You could see how I just threaded them this way and up, and this way and back up. So these are going to actually slide right there, and I think we're going to be just fine. So we're actually going to get the top plate on. We'll get this set right here. We'll start in the back. We'll actually slide this in there. We'll slide this in there like this, and we'll get our first set of screws in. I'm just really excited about being able to, these Bandoleros fly so well, that I'm just really excited about getting this thing in the air with the Air Unit, because I think that's really gonna change the game. I gotta probably play with it a little bit to figure out the tune because of the change in CG, but just really excited. I'm not gonna sit here and put in all the screws, but I'll put in enough so you guys can actually see the total build. Oh, left my X260 out, but that's fine. I'm actually going to run it back up through here, which is run it through. I like actually how that's designed, because that way I can just put my battery and slap that through. So there we go, looking pretty good. Antennas in the back. I'm gonna just hold these a little bit. I'm gonna put some zip ties right here, because if you look in the back, let me see if I can get in there. Right here. If you look in the back, I couldn't get those 90-degree elbows through, as I said, so I had to cut them open. So hopefully we'll have a solution for that as well. But I really like these. There's a smaller version as well that Bill had sent me just to play around with. Again, just playing around with the configuration. Love the hood scoop. This thing's ready to go, man. It's just so clean, so nice, and so durable. I can't say enough just about the Bandolero in general. These things have taken some serious abuse. Let's look at it from the front. I've got the camera mounted all the way in the top position. I don't fly at as much of an up tilt, but it, obviously still adjustable. We'll see what it looks like with the props. I'll actually do obviously some video on what I get for prop view in here. But it's just, this thing's sweet. I can't say anything. Can't say anything bad about it. So Air Unit's in. We'll just go do some Betaflight configuration. I'm not going to record that. I've already done that in the Marmot video. But there you go. BQE Bandolero running the DJI HD FPV system, and man, it just looks great. So nothing but smiles. We'll see you guys.